is a land of amazing geographical diversity. But do you know what makes its landscape so unique? Hello students, in part 1, we've already explored the Himalayas and the northern plains. In part 2, let's explore the plateaus, deserts, coastal plains and islands of India. Let's begin. Third physical region or landform is Thar Desert, also called the Great Indian Desert. Moving westward from the northern plains, we come across a vast yellowish region, the Thar Desert. It is famous for its golden sand dunes. Sand dunes are hills of sand formed when wind moves and shapes loose sand. The wind can create different dune shapes, and some dunes can rise as high as 150 meters. Jaisalmer, known as the Golden City, is located in the Thar Desert of Rajasthan. Its famous Jaisalmer Fort is an important example of the region's history and culture. This fort made up of yellow sandstone, so it is known as Golden Fort. The Thar receives very little rainfall. The desert has very hot days, cold nights and limited access to water. Camels are also important for transportation in the desert. Water is scarce in the Thar Desert, so people have developed clever ways to conserve water. Rainwater is collected and stored in structures called tanka or kunds, often for drinking. The Aravalli Hills. Moving eastward from the Thar Desert, we reach the Aravalli Hills. They are among the oldest mountain ranges in the world, formed about 2.5 billion years ago. Mount Abu is their highest peak. Height is more than 1,700 meters. The Aravallis act as a natural barrier and help prevent the Thar Desert from expanding further eastward. The Aravalli region is rich in minerals such as marble, granite, zinc and copper. The region is also famous for historic forts such as Chittorgarh, Kumbhalgarh and Ranthambore. Let's quickly revise what we have learned about the Thar Desert and the Aravalli Hills. The Thar is a dry and sandy region. Its sand dunes are formed by the wind. Water is scarce, so people use traditional methods like tankas and kunds to store water. Jaisalmer, the Golden City, is located here. The Aravalli Hills are one of the oldest mountain ranges in the world. Mount Abu is their highest peak. The region is rich in minerals and the Aravallis act as a natural barrier. Together, the Thar Desert and the Aravalli Hills are important geographical features of northwestern India. Now, let's move on to the next major landform of India, the Peninsular Plateau. What is a plateau? A plateau is a landform that rises above the surrounding land and has a mostly flat surface. Its sides are often steep. The Peninsular Plateau. India has several plateaus, but the most important is the Peninsular Plateau. It is a very old landform located in the central and southern parts of India. This region is surrounded by water on three sides. It is called a peninsula. The Peninsular Plateau is bordered by two mountain ranges, the Western Ghats and the Eastern Ghats. The Western Ghats are taller and run along the western coast like a wall. They are also known as the Sahyadri Hills. The Eastern Ghats are lower and broken into smaller hills. Between the Western and Eastern Ghats lies the Deccan Plateau. This is a vast area of flat highlands. Many important rivers flow across the Peninsular Plateau. The Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and Mahandi mainly flow towards the Bay of Bengal, while the Narmada and Tapi flow westwards into the Arabian Sea. The Peninsular Plateau is rich in minerals, forests and fertile land, which makes it important for India's economy. Its rivers also provide water for farming, industries and hydroelectric power. The dense forests of the plateau are home to many tribal communities, including the Santhal, Gond, Bega, Bhil and Korku. These communities have their own languages, traditions. Plateaus are also home to many beautiful waterfalls. These waterfalls attract tourists and can also help generate hydroelectric power and provide water for irrigation. The Western Ghats are home to many plants and animals, including the lion-tailed macaque and the king cobra. This region also has important resources such as coal, which is used for producing electricity. Let's quickly revise the Peninsular Plateau through flowchart. It is an ancient landform, located in central and southern India and surrounded by water on three sides. It is bordered by the Western Ghats, also called the Sahyadri Hills, and the Eastern Ghats. Between them lies the Deccan Plateau. Important rivers include the Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and Mahandi, which flow eastwards, while the Narmada and Tapi flow westwards. The plateau is rich in minerals, forests and fertile land and is home to many tribal communities. Its uneven rocky surfaces also create beautiful waterfalls. Thus, the Peninsular Plateau is an important part of India's physical geography. Now move to next landform of India, which is coastal plains. India has a very long coastline of more than 7,500 kilometers. Its coastline has beautiful beaches, green forests and many islands. Some beaches have golden sand, while others have black sand. The west coast of India stretches from Gujarat to Kerala, passing through Maharashtra, Goa and Karnataka. Many rivers here originate in the Western Ghats and flow quickly towards the Arabian Sea. The west coast has many estuaries. An estuary is a place where a river meets the sea. The Narmada and Tapi have some of the largest estuaries along this coast. The east coast of India lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. It stretches from the Ganga Delta in the north to Kanyakumari in the south. Unlike the west coast, it has wide plains and several important rivers, including the Mahandi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri make the coastal plains fertile and suitable for farming. The east coast also has important lagoons, such as Chilika Lake and Pulicat Lake. A lagoon is a body of water separated from the sea or ocean. Let's quickly revise the coastal plains of India. India has a coastline of more than 7,500 kilometers, with beaches, forests and islands. The west coast lies along the Arabian Sea, stretching from Gujarat to Kerala. Rivers from the Western Ghats flow quickly towards the sea. This coast has many estuaries, including large estuaries of the Narmada and Tapi. The east coast lies along the Bay of Bengal, stretching from the Ganga Delta to Kanyakumari. Major rivers like the Mahandi, Godavari, Krishna and Kaveri form fertile deltas. Important lagoons include Chilika and Pulicat lakes. Coastal plains are important for trade, transport, fishing and tourism. Now move on to the next landform, Indian islands. India also has many islands scattered across the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. The two major island groups of India are Lakshadweep and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Lakshadweep is an archipelago, which means a group of islands. It lies in the Arabian Sea, close to the Malabar coast of Kerala. It consists of 36 islands, many of which are made of coral. The islands are known for their beautiful beaches and coral reefs. Coral means hard material formed by tiny sea animals. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands form another major island group of India. They contain more than 500 large and small islands and are divided into two groups, the Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands. These islands are mainly volcanic. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands are also historically important because they are home to the famous cellular jail, which was used by the British to imprison Indian freedom fighters during the freedom struggle. The Andaman and Nicobar Islands lies in Bay of Bengal. And remember an important fact about the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Barren Island is the only active volcano in India. It can sometimes erupt and release smoke and lava. Now, let's move towards the eastern side of India and the Sundarbans. The Sundarbans is located in the delta of the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers, near the Bay of Bengal. It is a unique region where river, sea and land come together. The Sundarbans is famous for its mangrove forests and is home to many species, including the Royal Bengal tiger. It is the Indian part as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Finally, let's move towards the hills of northeast India. The important hill ranges here include the Garo, Khasi and Jantia hills. These hills are known for their lush greenery, heavy rainfall and beautiful waterfalls. So, the region supports rich forests, wildlife and fertile land. Let's quickly revise the Indian islands and the Sundarbans. Lakshadweep lies in the Arabian Sea, near Kerala. It consists of 36 islands, mainly made of coral. Andaman and Nicobar Islands lie in the Bay of Bengal. They include more than 500 islands, including volcanic islands. Now, the Sundarbans. The Sundarbans lies in the Ganga-Brahmaputra Delta, near the Bay of Bengal. It is famous for its mangrove forests and is home to the Royal Bengal tiger. The Indian part is also a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Hills of Northeast India. The important hill ranges include the Garo Hills, Khasi Hills and Jantia Hills, mainly in Meghalaya. This region receives very heavy rainfall, making it rich in green forests and beautiful waterfalls. And with this, we have completed our journey through the geographical diversity of India. I hope this video has made these landforms easier to understand and remember. For quick revision, go through the flowcharts and important points once again. If this lesson helped you, subscribe to Fast Learning Hub for more simple and visual Class 7 insert lessons. See you in the next lesson.